piping system fundamentals. In our day-to-day life, we come across a number of processing facilities. We come across different types of chemical industries, different types of petrochemical industries, refineries, fertilizer plants, power plants. Basically, in the processing industry, some of the raw materials are processed and some semi-finished products or the finished products are obtained. Now, as you can see, these processing industry comprise of some crucial industries like the power plants, where the generation of electricity takes place. This electricity is used by the human beings, by the humans, for the various purposes, for various domestic purposes as well as the industrial purposes. Similarly, if you consider the pharmaceutical industries, you'll notice that humans rely very crucially on the pharma industries for the better health of theirs. Similarly, is the paper industries, wastewater treatment plants, and so on. So as such, the processing industries play a very vital part in the well-being and the comfort of the human beings. So it is very important that these processing industries should be designed properly, and then they should be operated and maintained properly. They should be maintained and operated properly. So the processing industry, the human beings are dependent crucially on the processing industries. So it is very important that the designing should be done properly so that their operation and maintenance will be much easier. Now, if you look at typical process industry from a far off location, you will find it a very complex industry. You will see a very complex network of various types of pipings. You'll see a very complex network of various types of pipings, various types of valves, various types of mechanical equipments, process equipments, then various types of electronic systems, instrumentation systems, and so on. So the chemical industry as such is a very complex industry, and designing this sort of industry is a very difficult part. As such, since it comprises of the components from the various disciplines, so the designing of the chemical industry or the process industry involves the participation of professionals from the various disciplines. As such, the main object of the design of any process industry is to make sure that the plant will keep on running in a cost-effective manner, meeting all the process requirements and the client specifications. The client will raise certain project. He will be making lots and lots of investments. Process industries are actually they require lots of investments. So the client will raise a project for manufacturing of certain products. He will, based on that, the process requirements will be found out, and it is very important that during the designing itself, all these process requirements are taken care of, and that the final installation and erection of the plant will result into the production of the desired product at the desired quality and at the desired rate. Now let us see some of the factors that are considered in the designing of the process plants. One of them is that the various schedules of the project should be completed as within the shortest possible time. That means all the construction related works should be completed within the time. Installation, erection and commissioning of the various types of equipment should be completed within the time, and most importantly the designing of all the equipment should be completed in time. As the time period increases, the cost of the various products, various equipments will go on increasing. The cost of the manpower will also go on increasing. So if the project is delayed, not only the manpower will increase, but there will also be the loss of the production because of the delay. So all these cycles should be as small as possible. The work should be completed in the stipulated time so that the production is started as soon as possible. We have seen that the process industries require lots of investments, so it is very important that the returns on this investments should start as faster as possible. While doing the various works on the project like installation, erection or the fabrication of the various structures, it is very important that all the drawings should be referred very carefully. They should be understood carefully, they should be understood thoroughly, and the work should be done as per the specifications and the drawings. This will help in reducing the reworkings of various types. Many a times the structures may not have been done properly because of non-reference to the drawings or because of some ignorance. So this sort of field reworks should be reduced as much as possible. Then while installation, erection of the project of the plant, it is important that good construction practices should be followed so that the overall construction of the plant is very sound. The maintenance of the plant will be easier. The operation of the plant will be easier considering all the environment requirements. Okay, so we have seen that plant layout and piping design involves the input from various disciplines, professionals from various disciplines. So here let us say we have got a typical plant layout and piping design project in which you will need the inputs from various disciplines. Say for example, the mechanical people will help in designing the various types of equipment. They will help in deciding the various types of materials for the different equipments, or they can be special personnel who may be experts in the designing of equipments and specifying the materials for the different equipments, different pipelines, fittings, walls and so on. Then there will be electrical and instrumentation people who will be mainly involved into the installation of the electrical and instrumentation systems. The process people will play a very crucial role. It is the process people who will specify as to what are the various processes that are to be carried out in the plant. Based on this, one would find out what would be the various equipments that will be required and how the piping has to be laid out. The pipings will be laid out as per the process requirements. So there will be involvement of the piping professionals who will see what are the various fluids or the various fluids that will be passing through the different types of pipelines. So accordingly they will specify the sizes of the piping, materials of the piping, fittings, walls, instrumentation for the piping. Then there will be project people who will be mainly involved in the implementation of the project, will coordinate with the professionals of the different disciplines to see that the project moves in time and it sees if there are any problems in the implementation of the project. Procurement people will be involved in the procurement of the various equipments, fabrication materials. Safety people will take care of the safety. Construction people will be involved into the construction of the whole construction of the various types of civil works like buildings, foundations, the roadways, and so on. And the main will be the client, obviously. So as such, the plant layout and piping design will require the inputs from the professionals of various disciplines. Okay, so before going further, I hope everybody has been able to understand till here. Yeah, is it clear with everybody? Anybody has any doubts, any questions? Okay. Now, while doing the plant layout and piping design, a number of works are involved. What are the various tasks involved? First is the development and the refinement of the plot plans. When the initial designing of the plants is done, the rough plot plans are prepared. So these, in the rough plot plans, the initial location of the various equipments is done, but slowly and slowly these plot plans are reviewed and their final location, the final equipments are decided. So the final plot plans will indicate the location of various types of equipment within the plant and also the various types of foundations, platforms, ladders that will be required within the plant. They will give the exact location of the various equipment. As such, the whole plant, the whole process industry will be divided into a number of smaller plants, and there will be a plot plan for each of these smaller plants. Then establishing the equipment nozzle locations. What are the equipment nozzle locations? The pipings will be connected to each other and also to the different types of equipments like mechanical equipment and process equipment like compressor, the pumps, the vessels, the reactors, and so on. Now the connection between the piping and this equipment is called as a nozzle connection. Let us say that this is the output. Let us say that this is the output of a typical compressor. So the output will have a sort of a flanged connection. Now the piping at the outlet of this compressor, the piping will be connected. Now this piping will also be connected by a flanged connection. Now this is called as a nozzle connection. Where the piping is connected to the different types of equipment, it is called as a nozzle connections. So establishing the location of nozzle connection is very important. The nozzle connections will decide the starting point of the pipeline and the ending point of the pipeline. Let us say that certain pipeline is to be connected from the pump to the storage vessel. So there will be a nozzle connection at the pump point, which will be the starting point, and then there will be a nozzle connection at the storage vessel, which will be the ending point of the pipeline. So the fluid will be flowing from the pump to the storage tank. Then another important aspect is the routing of the pipes. Again, in case of the routing of the pipes, the nozzle connections will play an important role. The pipes have to be laid out over the long distances within the process industries. The process industries could be very big. The plant where I was working, that plant was almost 1 kilometer, almost 1 mile long, and besides our plant there was in fact another plant also. So as such, the process industries could be very big, they could be very large. So the pipes have to travel over the long distances. So it is very important that the pipes should be given a proper route. For this, it is important that you should know the starting nozzle connection, ending nozzle connection, and the routing should be such that the overall length of the pipeline is kept as minimum as possible. Then another other important tasks include sorry, designing of the various types of equipment, and the equipment ancillaries like foundations, platforms, stairways. For the installation of the equipment, you will be needing the foundations, you may need platforms, and you may need the stairways. So deciding their location and their sizes is very important. Then for the safety purposes, specifying the location of the safety equipment like firefighting equipments is very important. So these are some of the tasks that are done during the plant layout and piping design. Now, who are the people or the professionals who should be involved into the plant layout and piping design? What are the various skills required to be an expert in the piping layout and plant layout and piping design? To be expert in this field, the person should be very experienced in the process industry. He should, especially in the field in which he is supposed to work. Let us say he is working in a caustic membrane cell project. So he should be thoroughly experienced. He should have a thorough knowledge of the various processes that will be carried out, right from the raw procurement of the raw materials, and what are the various processes the raw materials will go through, what will be the main product, what will be the byproducts, what is to be done with the byproducts, how some finished products can be obtained from the byproducts, and so on. What will be the various equipments that will be required, how those equipments are supposed to be operated, and what are the potential maintenance related issues with those equipment. One should have a thorough knowledge of all these factors. He should be a very calm and cool person who should be able to go into the details of all aspects of the plant design and the plant layout and the piping design. He should have a complete vision of the plant as to what actually is required. He should be able to visualize what actually the plant is supposed to do and where actually the different equipments are supposed to be located and how they are supposed to be operated. He should be able to communicate all of his ideas with his team members. He should effectively communicate as to what actually is expected from them and how they are supposed to work. And if there are any problems during the installation and erection, he should be available all the time to solve the problems. Then it is very important that this person should be able to maintain the various documentation. As such, plant layout and piping design involves generation of lots and lots of data. So this person should be able to handle this data, able to understand this data, and then make the best use of the data. In the present days, the computers are being used extensively for the various purposes, so he should be able to make the use of modern technology like computers and mobile technology to make the workings of to make the designing in the installation process much easier. Now, while doing the designing of the plant, lots of data is generated. There are basically three types of data. One is the project data. This project data is mainly related to the plant, local conditions of the plant, like for example, what are the local governing codes, what are the climatic conditions, what are the various sorts of transportation facilities available, what will be the climatic conditions throughout the year, like temperature throughout the year, and so on. Engineering data is the most important data. It is the data related to the designing of all the important equipments within the plant, like various types of compressors, various types of pumps, the blowers, the heat exchangers, various types of storage vessels, reactors, distillation columns, their material of construction, their sizes, their detailed specifications, and so on. So this engineering and design data is the most important data. Then the vendor data is the data supplied by the various vendors. Various vendors will be manufacturing different types of equipment like pumps and compressors. So they will visit you and they will give you their various brochures, advertisement materials specifying as to what are the various equipments or the various uh, components manufactured by them and what are their specialities.